Go ahead.
I've been trying to get to this story for about...
Oh, okay. And they've gotten some updates since you came out with this.
Oh, you've seen it?
Unless you got...
Residents in South Suburb of Chicago, Harvey, are claiming that apartment units deemed uninhabitable there were boarded up with the tenants still inside.
Boarded up.
But a city alderman says that did not happen. That's what he's saying. But I'll show you a film. An alderman in South Suburb Chicago said this weekend that when an apartment unit is deemed uninhabitable, there were boarded up, tenants were not still inside. On Monday, however, days after the units on Halstead Street, 144th and Halstead, which is Harvey
IL,
were boarded up due to extensive deterioration of balconies and the stair risers. And with the winter storm fast approaching, some residents remained in the building with nowhere to go, claiming they didn't receive enough advance notice to make arrangements to live elsewhere if they left their units. In a statement shared on Saturday, a spokesperson for the city of Harvey said the buildings had previously been declared unlivable, with evacuation mandatory by October 28th. City officials said they sent notice to property owner, emphasizing it was the owner's responsibility to communicate to the tenants that they needed to evacuate. Rudolph Williams says he was home in Chicago suburb when he realized the doors and windows to his courtyard style apartment had been boarded up with plywood, locking him inside.
They had a news.
Can you imagine sitting there eating your popcorn and the next thing you see is some guys outside the window? Not hammering. They probably had these guns that made it go quick.
Real quick. One lady, the newsman, I kid you not, he had his microphone, went over to her. Hers was torn out.
Now, what the alderman gonna say it didn't happen? You see how politicians lie?
The newsman said, "Ma'am," because she didn't show her face. She had her door cracked. He said, "Ma'am, were you able? Did you notice that She said, "My boyfriend noticed that our windows was boarded up." He said, "Well, how did you guys get? How did he get out? He had to kick out the windows and the doors,
and they did it at night too.
He had the microphone. I'm kidding you not, to her, and you can see her one window was. You can tell the board was kicked out. The other window was still boarded. Who does that?"
And there were senior citizens
that couldn't get out,
that were in this building, who were locked. Can you imagine? Who does that?
And then they're having their meeting, the city council meeting. They're blaming each other. Somebody is blaming the city. Somebody is blaming the owner of that building. Everybody's doing the blame game. Who put the order out for them to even come and board them up?
Somebody said who lived there. They didn't get a letter. They said they put the letter on some people's doors.
Some.
Everybody did not get a letter.
No.
One of the residents said, who has lived in the apartment for 4 years.
If I owned this building, first of all, it wouldn't be this shabby. As the owner of this property, I would knock on every door. "Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. We're going to be helping you to relocate because we got to tear this building down. It's not, unless you don't fix it."
And then a normal person would go and put a tape or something saying non-inhabitable. So then when the guys come to board up, I've seen places where certain parts was boarded up and somebody lived there. They have to be evicted. Like, you got to get a police officer to go and take these people out of here.
Right.
You can't just go in on yourself and do that. But who boards up a place where somebody's literally still in there and you can't get out? How can a senior kick their way out like you said this lady's boyfriend did?
And another thing too that makes me angry with this story, they don't care about that group of people. They don't care.
You wouldn't even treat a dog.
They don't care about them.
There are some people who would go to hell and back if they found out you boarded up houses or apartments with puppies in there.
Ooh, any animal.
How dare you? But nobody's saying anything about human beings.
Human beings. Boarded up in their own house, in their own apartment. So
seniors.
You have a video of this?
Amanda Seales went off on her show. Amanda Seales, everybody knows who she is. She's an activist. And this is what she was saying.
Harvey, Illinois.
All right, so we're at 144.45 and 144.37. Hosted. I don't see any sheriffs here at all. No sheriffs here. And they boarding these apartments up. There's still people in these apartments. There's people living here with their kids. Section 8 is paying their rent still. And they is putting these people out their house. Or boarding them up. Harvey is not the sheriffs. Harvey has no control over this. They not the sheriffs. Y'all is here with no sheriffs. Y'all boarding people up in their cribs. I'm calling the news. I'm calling the lawyers. This is so wrong on so many levels. Y'all can't do this. Y'all's not the sheriffs. Y'all don't have the right. There's old people living here. There's people living here with their kids. That Section 8 is paying their rent still. And y'all is boarding people up in their cribs.
Now, I feel like... Oh, sorry.
What's happening in Harvey, Illinois?
I feel like not only, this is who I think should get it, okay? I think not only, I'm starting from the bottom on up. Those guys who went and boarded up those houses, the people who went there and boarded them up the houses, they need to be sued too. If somebody calls your company and asks you to do something and you get there and you see old people sitting in a house or people with kids,
why would you continue
and you put a board and nail it to the wall, to the window and the door, you're out of business.
Why would
Not only are you out of business, but you're being sued.
Why would they continue that though? Once you see life is living in there, your job is not that important. Your little paycheck you getting?
The owner of the property. That's it. You will never own another property as long as you live in this country. Not only that, but we will fine you any nice day or whatever coming up, Christmas or whatever coming up.
In his own place.
You will not have money to buy your kids any presents when I finish with you. The alderman.
That's his ward.
Why is the building in that kind of condition in the first place? Alderman.
That's your job.
Alderman.
You work for the people.
Alderman.
You work for the community that you were voted for.
Why are there buildings in your part of your jurisdiction that get to a point to where they have to be boarded up because the balconies are breaking down and the stairs, and there are kids and seniors that live in there? Alderman.
Yeah. So I fought them too. The city. Who are the inspectors?
Yeah. Who are the people that go out and make sure that people aren't living in conditions that will ultimately end their lives?
Thank you. Why is this slipping through the cracks? Why any of this? They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care about the people in the city they're in, the community they're in. I feel really bad for them.
That's
I'm glad it's been spotlight, that people continue to put this on spotlight.
Thank you. All right.
Go ahead.
So I wanted to bring...
There was another thing with this.
That's it.
Video.
No, it only showed a little bit of Amanda.
Oh, okay.
But she posted it on her thing and brought attention to it. Amanda Seales.
Okay, because I have a picture of her. Was there something else about her?
No, that was it.
Oh, so you don't have to go to that.
Yeah. Okay. She is the one... Right here, Amanda Seales, that you saw in the beginning yelling, saying Harvey,
so she
Illinois.
Has her own show?
Yes, she's an activist. Wow. And because she's talked about it, she made it mainstream. Everybody was talking about it. It was on the Shade Room. Everybody was talking about it because of Amanda Seales. Brought it to attention. Harvey, Illinois.
This is a suburb of Chicago.
Right next to Dalton, ain't it? What's going on down there?
I don't know.
We talked about that crazy lady that's taking over Dalton, the mayor.
And they've had issues as well with their police department. Just a lot of mess going on. Very messy down there. And I just pray that people take this news coverage very serious. And advocates like her will come and fight for these people.
But who does
and
that?
Keep landlords and people who own property from owning.
Who boards up a window and a door with a human being in it? Who does that?
And especially when she's got her camera coming to tell you guys there's people still
and you're not even done. You're literally doing it while she's telling you on camera there's people in there. Who does that?
And aren't they supposed to have a sheriff there to control?
And you want to know why I said
they wanted a little paycheck. They was probably offered some money to do this, and they wanted to get it done.
And you want to know why I said this is the same country that will vote Trump.
Yeah.
Now you asking why I said that?
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask again, because this is a stupid place. Who does that?
God is probably losing.
Can you imagine your grandmother in a place and they
board his patience with this?
They board the windows and the doors. Mm-hmm. You can't get out.
That girl said her boyfriend had to kick the thing out.
All right.
He had to kick a window out to get out.
Now I always try to start the end with